It's the very beginning of August, and New York Yankees outfielder Joey Gallo is not the happiest of men. The fact of the matter was that Gallo, who had been a Yankee for about a year by this point after being traded there in 2021, has had a bad season at the plate. Up until this point in 2022, his numbers weren't pretty, hitting 159 with a 621 OPS in over 80 games. He was bad, and he got hell for it. Right before the 2022 trade deadline, Gallo sat down for an interview with NJ Advanced Media, making it pretty clear how he was feeling. He mentioned how he does not go out in the streets in Manhattan, where he lived as a Yankee, because he doesn't want to show his face. Also saying how back when he was in Texas, Rangers fans eventually understood the type of hitter Gallo was, whereas in New York, if you don't get enough hits, it doesn't matter what else you're doing, and that they will tear you apart. Going on to blatantly say, quote, "I feel like people are a little sick of me here, so I don't really know what else I can do at this point here. So I think it'll help me to move on." Well, lo and behold, Gallo quickly got his wish, getting traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, here's the thing about the Dodgers. They turn some players, whether they're struggling or hurt or just flat out nobodies, and turn them into something. Let's go over some examples. In 2014, Chris Taylor wasn't very good. In 2015, Chris Taylor was really bad. He only played a total of 36 games in 2016, getting traded from Seattle to LA 2 games in, and wasn't very good throughout the year. But by 2017, things changed. In 2017, the Dodgers won 104 games, and Taylor was at the front and center of that success, with it getting to the point where Mariners general manager Jerry Dipoto felt he needed to just come out and tell the world he was wrong, failed hard on the trade, and regretted it. Taylor has continued to be a solid utility player for the Dodgers over the years. He wasn't drafted at a high round, traded for in a blockbuster way, or signed big time in free agency. Just a struggling player in another organization who the Dodgers felt they could change the course of his career. And so they did. In 2015, Max Muncie of the Oakland A's was not good. In 2016, he was worse, hitting 186 with a 565 OPS. It was bad, getting to the point where Oakland just flat out released him at the end of spring training in 2017. That's when the Dodgers swooped right in and signed Muncie to a minor league deal, a place where he'd play all of 2017 and do very well in, and then 2018 came along. In 2018, his first official season with the Dodgers, Max Muncie played 137 games, hit 263 with a 973 OPS, smacked 35 home runs, and hasn't really looked back since, becoming a key factor in the Dodgers' great success over the years. He wasn't drafted at a high round, traded for in a blockbuster way, or signed big time in free agency. Just a struggling player in another organization who the Dodgers felt they could change the course of his career. And so they did. From 2009 through 2013, a man by the name of Justin Turner was non-existent. He started playing full-time in 2011, hitting to a 690 OPS that year, a 711 OPS in 94 games, and after a 2013 season which featured Turner hit to a 704 OPS in 86 games, the New York Mets had had enough, releasing him. Turner was now teamless. 2014 came around, and by February, he was still unemployed, until the Dodgers decided to give him a minor league contract with an invite to spring training. In 2014, Justin Turner hit 340 with an 897 OPS in 109 games, and has never looked back. 2015 was great, 2016 was great, so was 2017 and 18. In fact, from 2016 to 2018, Turner finished top 15 in the NL MVP voting. 2019 was fantastic, so was 2020, 2021 was great, and 2022 has been almost as good. After struggling with the Orioles and Mets to start off his big league career, he has yet to have a bad season as a Dodger. It's pretty incredible. He wasn't drafted at a high round, traded for in a blockbuster way, or signed big time in free agency. Just a struggling player in another organization who the Dodgers felt they could change the course of his career. And so they did. And it looks like they may be in the process of doing it again. Well, sorta. Joey Gallo was really bad as a Yankee. There's no getting around it. Forget his batting average. For the player Gallo is, that doesn't matter, as his game is to walk a ton and hit a ton of homers, but he wasn't doing that either. That was the issue. Gallo's situation is a little different from the big three I just mentioned, mainly because unlike them, Gallo actually was looked at as relatively a star at one point when he was in Texas before becoming a Dodger. So this time, instead of taking a nobody and turning them into an impact player worth a lot, the Dodgers took someone who used to be that impact player, struggled after getting traded to New York, and is now having a resurgence after getting traded again. To remind you, in his first 82 games of the season, all with New York, Gallo hit 159 with a 621 OPS. In his first 24 games for the Dodgers since the trade, Joey Gallo has hit 203 with a 780 OPS, connecting for 4 home runs. Has he turned into Barry Bonds? No, of course not. But he is turning into exactly what the Dodgers turned Chris Taylor, Max Muncie, and Justin Turner into. Yes, about 25 games is a small sample size, so I'm not going to sit here and say the Yankees made a mistake by trading him and that he is truly back to his Texas form. In all honesty, if Gallo was still in pinstripes, he still is probably struggling. He's a human being, just like the rest of us, and struggling the way he did and the harsh criticism that he got certainly got to him and affected his game. He simply wasn't as happy in New York and needed a change of scenery. But at the same time, if he went to a team that wasn't the Dodgers, would he be playing better like he is now? Who knows? But one thing is for sure, and that is that the Dodgers are no stranger to building up or revamping someone's career. They're an incredible organization, one that finds treasure in places you'll never think to look, and it's partly why they've become the most successful organization in baseball over the last decade. As of right now, as far as I'm concerned, the Dodgers saved Joey Gallo's career. Let me know what you think, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.